Thank you for coming this morning to join us with this great celebration of a new engineering center. And this is the beginning of a new start for engineering in Oakland University. And I'm very proud to introduce our new president, Dr. George Hein.
Thank you, Louis. I truly appreciate the introduction. I most sincerely appreciate the opportunity to be here before you today. This is truly an extraordinary day, not just for the School of Engineering and Computer Sciences, but certainly for Oakland University, the community, and the state of Michigan. So I appreciate your all being here to help us celebrate on this fantastic day. I should tell you that I've only been on the job here for 18 days. So my learning curve, as you can all appreciate, is a vertical line. And I have really appreciated the opportunity to get to know more about Oakland University, but especially our points of pride. And of those many points of pride that we have here, I would consider engineering and computer sciences to be absolutely at the top of that list. I can only imagine how thrilled many of you are here today, particularly those of you who dreamed, imagined, planned, and contributed to the transformation of this campus over the past few years and today. Those plans have come to fruition, and we can see so proudly what we have as our product here today of those visions and those dreams that you've had. I want to acknowledge everyone who has helped bring this facility from its origins as a hopeful vision to its status as a new campus landmark, truly right next to Elliott Tower, the most visible landmark perhaps on campus. I want to thank all of you, the faculty. If the faculty are here, would you please raise your hand? I know you were involved, and students. Let's acknowledge I know that they probably at one point in time, faculty potentially being cynical, never thought this would become a reality, but here we sit today in an absolutely extraordinary building. While I'm taking a moment to acknowledge important members and friends of the university, I'd like to thank some very special guests that we have here today and take time to really mark this moment and their contributions. I would like to, if you could just raise your hand as I read your name, I would appreciate it. Congressman Gary Peters, State Representative Brad Jacobson, State Senator Mike Cowell, State Representative Eileen Cowell. Over here, thank you. Glad you made it here. John Papageorge, former Michigan State Senate Majority Leader Michael Bishop, Oakland County Sheriff Michael Bouchard, Oakland County Director of Economic Development and Community Affairs Irene Spanos. There we are. Auburn Hills City Manager Tom Tangi, Pontiac City Council President Pro Tem Mary Pieta, City of Rochester Mayor Jeffrey Colson, Rochester Hills Mayor Brian Barnett. I just met Brian a moment ago. Pleased that he's here. Oakland University Board of Trustees Chair Mark Schlussel, Board Trustee Scott Kunselman, Board Trustee Ron Robertson, Trustee Emeriti Jay Shaw, and I know Jay's here, Trustee Emerita Monica Emerson. I would also like to acknowledge any elected officials that contributed to this building that I may have missed. Would you please raise your hand if I somehow missed you? Well, thank you. I was making a comment to someone just a few moments ago that everyone, from staff member to students to faculty to elected officials to the university administration, has had some incredibly important role in moving forward to the point that we are today. So I want to thank you all for not only your contributions to get us here today, but certainly for those of you that were able to attend. Thank you for taking time out of your day. Now I think many of you already know that the School of Engineering and Computer Science has been growing by leaps and bounds. In fact, it has risen. The enrollment has risen by 47% over the last 5 years and by 16% in terms of enrollments in just the last year. Now, being the new guy in town, I was certainly thinking, well, what's going on? We have outstanding faculty. I know that we've been recruiting nationally and internationally, but As I learn more each day, I really am appreciating the incredible expertise that our faculty have that are increasingly drawing students, not just from this region, but from out of state and internationally as well. And I think that international students are enriching our campus and certainly contributing greatly to the engineering and computer sciences programs that we have here. I want to give a significant amount of credit to Dean Louis Chamra, the outstanding faculty in this school, and all of the wonderful things you've done to create a school that is certainly something that we are proud of, but increasingly is gaining national and international recognition. So thank you very much for that. Our growing body of student engineers can now acquire the knowledge and skills from expert faculty in a facility that provides the very best in modern teaching and learning environments. And as you walk around this building, and by the way, I've been informed that the desserts are on the top floor, so please make sure you go all the way up. I really think that one of the outcomes that we can expect from this extraordinary facility and the dedication you all have shown to make this a reality is that we will be producing students that really can contribute to the workforce in the surrounding area in all of our business and industries, but also around the nation as they continue to grow and develop in their own professions. There's a compelling story here in the School of Engineering and Computer Science, and part of my job, and I think you can appreciate that I enjoy that part, I get to go out and tell the story, look for partnerships, and really inform people in ways that they can support us. I hope each of you will join me in doing the same. The School of Engineering and Computer Sciences, I think, really deserves that kind of attention. As I'm sure you know, this magnificent building would simply not exist with the steadfast support, intense review, I am told, and well-informed approval of Oakland University Board of Trustees. I would like to close my remarks by inviting our newly appointed board chair, Mark Schleschel, to share a few words with us today. Mark?
Thank you, Dr. Hine. I have a confession to make before I start my remarks, and it raises a question. I did go out and I saw the lovely reception. I snuck a piece of fruit, and I decided I was going to wash my hands, so I went into the washroom. And after I washed my hands, I stood there for about 3 minutes waving at the paper toweling item, and nothing happened. So I figured in this wonderful engineering building with all this high technology, whereas when I go into the older buildings, I just wave my hands and the paper comes out. So I told Dr. Shemra, maybe this is an engineering project that we ought to undertake. I'd like to acknowledge my fellow board members who are here, Ron Robinson, Scott Kunselman, and Emeritus Trustee Jay Shaw, who worked diligently on behalf of the Facilities Committee to make sure that this building came in on budget. And I know that the contractors and others will be acknowledged at Walbridge. They did remarkable work here. As we came every week to see the building, we were impressed with how it moved on. This university is quite a remarkable place. When you think about it, there's 1,500 acres of beautiful terrain, and we're only a golf shot away from Scott's office at Chrysler Corporation. We are surrounded by world-renowned automotive suppliers whose technology and engineering excellence is the lifeblood of their business. What a wonderful place for us to dedicate a new state-of-the-art engineering and computer science building. From the perspective of the Board of Trustees, the decision to use state resources and our bonding capacity to build this gorgeous facility was frankly a commitment to both the university, the state of Michigan, and our surrounding business community. You know, it surprises me. We often see statistics today suggesting that there are almost 2 million unfilled jobs in key industries that are clamoring for qualified personnel in this country. This building and our extremely talented faculty and the wonderful students we have that we will attract will go a very long way to fill that void here in Oakland County. The decision to move forward with this building has been years in the making, and I commend the prior boards and their commitment to this pursuit of excellence. The School of Engineering and Computer Science is absolutely vital to the strength and success of our university family. Education today is in reality becoming more of centers of excellence in higher learning. We at Oakland are blessed with many centers of excellence, and the faculty in each of them rank favorably with the best that higher education can offer throughout the country. Certainly, this engineering school stands as one of these centers of excellence. My fellow board members and I are confident that under the wonderful leadership of our new president, Dr. George Hine, and our provost, Dr. James Lentini, and our dean, Dr. Louis Shemra, this building will serve as an architectural beacon that reflects the excellence of scholarship and research taking place within its walls. I also wish to commend the tireless efforts of our Vice President of Finance Administration for bringing this in on budget, and from our Vice President of Government and Community Relations for her excellent work in getting other assistance with the state, our entire facilities management team, and our state legislator and the numerous administrative office officials who helped us realize this reality. And the outside consultants and Walbridge that we've already acknowledged were remarkable in this process. We on the board look forward to the School of Engineering and Computer Science gaining greater recognition both nationally and internationally as our region continues to evolve as one of the world's most productive and prosperous economic centers. The truly tangible beauty of this facility will ultimately be the excellence of the students who emerge from it and shape our nation's industrial base of the future. Their work will ensure that even in a highly competitive world, this nation, our state, will remain in a creative and innovative leadership in engineering, computer sciences, and technology. To stand tall, we must have facilities such as this remarkable building. We must have educational facilities filled with energized students who are challenged by distinguished faculty to explore new ideas, solve daunting intellectual challenges, and advance the best interests of modern society. This is truly an auspicious day for Oakland University, our entire community, the state of Michigan, and our region. And I'm delighted to have the opportunity to welcome you on behalf of our wonderful board, who leads in terms of supervision and strategic vision. I thank you very much.
Thank you, Chair Schlessel. I think after your initial comments, there's a new course being proposed in laboratory paper dispensing, so let's see how that works out. My name is Jim Lentini. I'm honored to be the Senior Vice President for Academic Affairs and Provost here at Oakland University. And I've been asked to speak about the opening of this engineering center. I can tell you as Provost, I'm excited, along with our faculty and our dean and everyone associated with engineering and computer science, because this building allows us to move forward our agenda of excellence in teaching and research, and this is going to be an exciting way forward. First, I'm certain that the new building will become a hub of learning, research, and technology in the world we live in today, where these aspects are so important. The center changes the landscape of our campus, which not only is its aesthetic, but also by what it represents in Oakland University's commitment to engineering and computer science. And the education and training of our students, development of research that benefits industries that include the Department of Defense, the auto industry, robotics firms, and much, much more. One of the things I talk about frequently in my year and 2 months here is that I really believe that we are in a unique and wonderful spot for engineering and computer science here in the region. Even in this brief time I've been here, the robotics firms I've visited, some of the auto industry areas, etc. We are in a perfect spot for our students and to further engineering here at Oakland University. In fact, through the development of research and patents from the School of Engineering and Computer Science faculty, Oakland University was listed as one of the 25 most innovative companies in Southeast Michigan by Crane's Business Detroit, and we were the only educational institution to make that list. As student applications and admissions continue to grow at a rapid rate here, the realization of this wonderful new building has poised us to continue our rise as a leading school of engineering and computer science in the state, and I believe in the nation. Virtually 100% of our engineering graduates find employment or move on to advanced study, positively impacting the economy and workforce here in the state and in our region. In addition, our School of Engineering and Computer Science is the leading area on campus that attracts international students to pursue degrees here, providing a global interaction between OU and the countries around the world. This new building will help us to further establish our mission to expand our national and international scope and reach in alternative energy, healthcare, biomedicine, the automotive industry, military defense, and many other high-tech industries. It's obvious that the impact of our new building will extend the reach of engineering far beyond a singular discipline. As a doctoral research institution, Oakland University is committed to providing students with global perspectives that cross disciplines, where medicine, arts, business, engineering, and sciences intersect, share, and collaborate. As Steve Jobs, founder of Apple, is famously quoted as saying, "Technology alone is not enough. It's technology married with liberal arts, married with the humanities, that yields us the results that make our heart sing." So while those who major in engineering and computer science now have a first-class facility to pursue their passion, the new building will also help us expand the reach of engineering and computer science across disciplinary boundaries. As we admire our $74.6 million, 127,000 square foot facility that features state-of-the-art classrooms, research labs, meeting spaces, and offices, we are aware of our responsibility to our faculty, staff, and students to be a top-tier center for education and innovation that will positively impact our region and the state of Michigan. Now, as our Board of Trustees Chair already noted, it takes many individuals and groups to create something of the magnitude as this building represents. It must be reiterated that the state of Michigan provided critical support for this project, and I'm now pleased to introduce an individual who went to great lengths to help make that happen. His efforts helped to get this project included in Michigan's 2010 and 11 capital outlay budget, which allocated a total of $30 million toward the cost of the engineering center. So please help me welcome former Michigan State Senate Majority Leader, Michael Bishop.
Thank you, Dr. Montini. I have no written comments. I just wanted to be here to thank you all for the opportunity to be here, for all that you've done on behalf of this community, for all the students, for the so many things that you've done to make this community a better place to live, work, and raise a family. I have to tell you that I was born and raised just up the road here, a couple golf shots. Probably for me, several golf shots. But I spent much of my youth roaming these 1,500 acres and getting to know it in a way that most don't. And I also spent most of my upbringing watching this university grow. And in the past 15 years, I will tell you that this school has transformed. And I don't guess I need to tell you that, other than the fact that I've taken it from a kind of a personal eyewitness perspective. Every day I drive up University Drive, turn left onto Squirrel Road, and I look at that beautiful human, the building that was just built. Unbelievable. It's just fantastic. And in the distance as I drive by, it used to be the first thing I saw that made a difference on the horizon was the Chrysler World Headquarters. I can remember when that went up and I just thought, wow, the horizons changed forever. And then this beautiful bell tower goes up, and we have another something on the horizon to look at that's brand new, that represents so many great things here on the university campus. And I'm very fortunate because having the opportunity to serve in elected government where I was born and raised, and have the opportunity to represent a school like this, a world-class university like this, and watch it grow the way it has. I watched university presidents and posses come into the Capitol all the time with a very much entitlement attitude, looking for a handout. And I say that lovingly because we understand and appreciate the value of higher education. But no one represented their community better and their university better than Dr. Russi and his team when he would come into the Capitol. It was a fantastic thing to watch because he put on the table a value proposition. And as I come here today, you can see exactly what that value proposition is. So supporting the university is something that I have long since wanted to do. I'm very proud to do. I look at what you're doing with the new sports facility that's going in, parking deck. You've got all this new building for the students to live in their housing. This building, I can't say enough. And just the past 5 years, everything has changed, all for the good. You've made us all very proud. And I'm so honored to have had the opportunity to serve you in government. And it really is one of the most rewarding things I've ever been able to do. I look forward to greater things as the years go on, and looking forward to working with this community and this university as the days go on. So for the little bit that I was involved in, thank you very much. Thank you to Rochelle Black and Michelle Lang, some of the two finest government folks that you'll have at any university, who have done so much to make connections with the legislature and make sure they understand what's going on here at Oakland University. It's so important. So thanks for the world-class effort that you put on from top to bottom. This is a thrill to see what you've done, and I thank you.
Good morning again, and I'm Louis Chamadi, School of Engineering and Computer Science. This special event we have gathered for today signals a dynamic new era for the school. But you know, this school and building, I really like to dedicate it to our faculty and staff, because they worked for the last 30 years to have a facility like this and to enjoy teaching, most of all, and what we do. The long-standing scholarly achievements on the part of the school accomplished faculty, both active and retired, have laid the foundation for this growth. And I really appreciate that, and all of them deserve a round of applause. Thank you. This engineering center will be used to educate future engineers, scientists, and innovators. Oakland graduates will help build tomorrow's societies. The new resources now at our disposal will allow us to better prepare students for the global economy. This will allow us to more effectively collaborate with industry and economic development organizations in the region, in the process attract and retain a growing number of high-paying engineering and computer science jobs. And this is as important as especially retaining jobs in our region with the shortage of talent that we have, as important as bringing companies to Michigan. School of Engineering, I can assure you that as a school, its mission and its engagement, as its engagement involved, one thing will not change. The School of Engineering and Computer Science will continue to play a unique and significant role in engineering education, cutting-edge research, and economic development. This new building will simply allow us to do that more meaningful than ever before. The Engineering Center now fully transitioned from vision to reality, the culmination of years of hard work by many dedicated individuals, including SCCS faculty and staff, university staff, state legislators, and the governor. I'm obliged to recognize one legislator without whom we surely would have missed an opportunity to secure the state funding needed to complete this building. I would like to thank former Senate Majority Leader Michael Bishop for his effort, notably in historically difficult economic times, to assist us in getting legislative approval for the Engineering Center. And actually in 2010, if we all remember, that was the worst recession we ever faced here in Michigan, and people were running away from engineering discipline. And what a 3 years remarkable turnaround. Right now we cannot graduate enough engineers for the economy here in Michigan. I would also like to thank current and former Board of Trustees chairs, Mark Schlossel, Trustee Schlossel, former chair Henry Baskin, and Trustee Michael Kramer for the extensive work they have done to help make this day possible. In addition, I would like to thank all the Board of Trustees because their support is always very crucial and they believed in us as a school, as faculty and students. And back in 2010, we were about 830 undergraduate students, and it was very difficult actually to convince the board to approve this building. But I'm very happy to say they believed in us. They gave us a building, and right now we're about 1,700 undergraduate students and 600 graduate students. So thank you for your support. But two people I'd like to have a special recognition, trustees Robinson and former trustee Jay Shah, and especially Jay Shah, who was instrumental in working with us, developing this building, and thank you for all the effort that you put in this building. Vice President for Finance and Administration, John Bin, Associate Vice President for Facility Management, Terry Stolzheimer, and his entire team, especially Susan Riley and Steve Smith, deserve immense gratitude for helping to orchestrate this massive project. Walbridge Construction Company CEO John Raccolta Jr., President Rick Haller, and Executive Director Adorno Piccini understood our vision for this school from the beginning and brought us a team that could make it happen. Thank you for that. And they deserve our sincere appreciation. I would also like to recognize Project Manager John Beagley and Don Windsor, without whom this monumental undertaking simply wouldn't have been possible. Many members of the Smith Group designers, this is basically the Smith Group designed this building, tailored ideal and much needed lab spaces from long list of requirements our faculty and students gave them. And believe me, designing this building, we involved everybody. Student organization, student, faculty, staff, everybody was involved in the design. And trust me, it was not an easy task to ask all these input and satisfy everybody. But I thank the Smith Group wholeheartedly for its unwavering commitment. I would especially recognize Chris Van Ness, who has worked diligently for months to ensure that our lab equipment is properly installed and in working order. Higher education in general, we're here to improve and give prosperity to communities. And we have to start with our surrounding communities. Auburn Hills, Rochester Hills, Rochester, Pontiac, and we're here to serve locally, regionally, the Tri-County, and Michigan, and then we go global. But all of this is dependent on their support. I really would like to recognize Rochester Hills and Auburn Hills for their continued support for not only engineering, for Oakland University in general. And this is a true partnership between higher education and local government, and thank you for that. All told, this group of individuals has helped make history, and in a way that perfectly exemplify a critical focus that has guided the School of Engineering and Computer Sciences its beginning. And actually, I happened to run into a document that was written in 1965. So in 1965, a document titled The Mission of Engineering at Oakland. It was written by the founding dean, John Gibson, who wrote, and here I only changed one word. At Oakland, we feel that each student must have access to technology. Each day in each course, students must be allowed to feel that this access is their right, just as it's their right to use a library rather than a special privilege. The only thing they changed here, instead of technology, he used computer. But remember, that was written in 65, and that statement shows the vision that exists today. And I'm very proud to announce that every person involved in this project has worked collaboratively to achieve this vision in our new building, and I'm very proud that we achieved that vision 50 years later. I'm confident that the work of our excellent faculty and outstanding faculty staff, as well as the visionary leadership of Oakland University, will ensure that the school will soon be ranked among the top engineering and computer science schools in the nation and eventually in the world. In closing, congratulations to the school faculty, students, and staff. Thank you. next speakers, two speakers actually are students of our school, and I asked them personally to come and talk to you what it means to have this new building. Our first speaker is Ms. Cindy Zaki, is an undergraduate student here at Oakland, pursuing a degree in electrical and computer engineering. She was the president of OU Formula SAE team, a student organization dedicated to designing, building, and testing a Formula type race car each year and competing with them internationally. Please welcome Ms. Zaki.
Thank you, Dean Shamra, and thank you all for the opportunity to speak to you today. 2 years ago, I found myself walking into the Formula SAE garage for the first time ever. And let me tell you, the sight I was greeted with was not what anyone would call a sight for sore eyes. The place was dusty, to say the least. You could tell some of the machines were a little dated, and the walls were lined with mismatched tables, shelves, and cabinets. But there, in the corner of the shop, was the 2012 Formula SAE car. I made my way over to the car, and team members greeted me and came over to me and showed me all the parts on that car that they had designed themselves, and told me about all the hard work that had gone into bringing that part to life. After speaking with them for a little while, I was hooked. Now, when I say that for the past 2 years I have been a member of the Formula SAE team, what I mean to say is that for the past 2 years of my life, I have practically lived at the Formula SAE garage. You may think I'm exaggerating, but please believe me when I tell you that every morning when I awoke, my first destination was the garage. And every evening before I went home, I was more than likely departing from the garage. That's if I was even going home that evening, because you see, all-nighters were a more than common occurrence throughout our year. We'd have music blasting throughout the night to keep us awake, everyone singing along, no sleep till Brooklyn, as we came closer and closer to a finished product. We held our weekly meetings there. We held our new student orientations there. Every Saturday and Sunday, the shop was humming with the sound of running machines, and we only ever paused to run across the street to find a restroom. We counted down till our last final was over, not to mark the end of a semester, but to mark when we would begin working in the garage full time. And we weren't the only ones. We had visiting teams from around the world that came and stayed with us before our first competition in May over at Michigan International Speedway. Now, given how much time we all spent in the garage, you can imagine how excited we all were when we found out about the new engineering building. We now have a garage, or a shop, that is attached to the rest of the engineering school. And although we'll miss being neighbors to the OUPD, we're really excited to be a part of the building. We will now have a chassis dyno, an engine dyno, a flow bench, so many more resources. We have access to a 5-axis water jet, and we have a separate student organization office now to hold our meetings in, so students can design their parts in peace while the rest of us are machining away in the shop across the hall. Our resources have multiplied more than we could have ever expected, and we are so excited about it. And on a more personal note, I cannot tell you how thrilled I am to have a ladies' room on each floor of this building. Just in case you are not a lady or you have not stepped inside of Dodge Hall, you wouldn't know that there is not a ladies' room on every single floor, and to find one is quite the struggle. So, in closing, I would like to thank you all again for giving me the opportunity to speak to you today. I would like to say that without the support from the school, from Dean Shamra, from Dr. St. George and our faculty advisor, and from the rest of the SECS and OU community, none of these opportunities would be available to us. And I cannot tell you how much I appreciate having had the opportunity to be here these past 2 years. I cannot wait to spend my final year here at Oakland in this new building, making new memories and great new friends. Thank you.
Our next speaker is Mr. Jared Oluoch. He's a PhD candidate in computer science and informatics here at OU. He received a Master's of Science in Management Information System from University of Nebraska at Omaha. And he's the president of National Society of Black Engineers, NSBE, OU chapter. He's also the vice president for Grad Connection, a campus-wide student organization for all graduate students. And he's excited to be here today. Please welcome Mr. Oluoch.
Thank you, Dean Chambra, for the wonderful introduction. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my honor and immense privilege to address you today in this most auspicious of occasions as we officially open the new engineering center right here at the home of the Golden Grizzlies. The title of my remarks is A Call to Service. The significance of this center, from my perspective as a student, is twofold. First, it will provide the needed infrastructure for students and faculty to engage in cutting-edge research to solve various problems in industry. Secondly, and most poignantly, this home will provide a roof under which all student organizations within this school will gather together to brainstorm on ideas and solutions that can positively impact the campus community and the wider community around us. As president of the National Society of Black Engineers, and as VP for Grad Connection, a campus-wide organization for all grad students, I reaffirm our abiding commitment, I reaffirm our unyielding commitment, I reaffirm our unwavering commitment to working together with students from every creed and every walk of life towards the fulfillment of the missions and objectives of this school in particular and the campus community in general. Mr. President, this center has all the needed ingredients to transform itself into a first-rate, world-class research institute. And consequently, this home beckons all of us, all those aspiring engineers and computer scientists, with a vision and a passion to change the world for the better, to join its rank and file. If there's a high school girl somewhere across America who wants to pursue studies in computer science and engineering, but still views these fields as male-dominated, that still looks at these academic disciplines with great trepidation and considerable foreboding, she will find a home here. Mr. President, this school was ranked 4th nationally for its hiring and subsequent retention of female faculty. Matter of fact, one of those faculty members is my PhD advisor, Dr. Fu, who I believe should be here today or is perhaps in her lab upstairs. If there's a consummate software engineer somewhere in India or Europe or China or down under who wants to broaden his research horizons beyond his borders, he will find a home here. If there's a girl in sub-Saharan Africa, the continent where I was born and raised, who wants to cut her teeth in mechanical engineering and is willing to roll up her sleeves every morning to shoot for the stars and to hope for a brighter light of day, this home beckons her too. There is not a perfect pathway to success in life than through a solid, rigorous education background. This point bears repeating, that to my knowledge, there are only 3 things that can give you a shot at a better life. Number 1 is education. Number 2 is education. And I forgot what the 3rd one is. It is perhaps because of this that more than 50 years ago, a great lady under whose benevolence we gather here today bequeathed her estate to this community to help start this beautiful campus. So on behalf of all students and on my own behalf, I would like to thank each and every one of you who has contributed so immensely over the years to sustain the legacy of Matilda Dodge Wilson and John Hanna. Matilda Dodge Wilson still calls on us to this day to reawaken and rekindle the hope of the human spirit, that inner sparkle within us that urges us to do good for mankind, that urges us to do good for the entire human family. Ladies and gentlemen, my African background reminds me that a good dancer must know when to stop dancing. And so as I begin to come to the end of this dance in a manner of speaking, here is my challenge to all of us gathered here today. am I doing enough to follow in the examples of Matilda George Wilson and John Hanna and the tens or hundreds who have given back so much to this community? But here's the beauty of it. We don't have to be so wealthy or to have a big paycheck to make a positive and lasting impact in our communities. That $10 donation that you give back to campus to support scholarship and research here on campus, you are making an impact. Those volunteer hours that you spend in summer camps with high school students and middle school students and elementary school children to introduce them to engineering at an early age, to mold and nurture them into responsible citizens and productive members of the society, you are making an impact. Those hours that you spend volunteering for your student organization, to lead in campus tours for newly arrived students, you are making an impact. That extra dollar that you pull out of the corporate research budget to fund a gaping hole in research here on campus, you are making an impact. Those minutes that you spend in meetings with your fellow government officials to explain the need for improved state appropriation to fund construction and faculty travel grants and research and graduate assistantship here on campus, you are making an impact. And so as we leave here in the rush of day to go back to our respective stations, let us summon anew the spirit of service. Let us summon anew the spirit of compassion. Let us summon anew the spirit of philanthropy. And let us all, in our own small ways, both individually and collectively, strive to make this campus a better place than we found it. Strive to leave this world a better place than we found it. Strive to bequeath to the next generation a more secure, a more peaceful, a more prosperous, and a much richer world. It is my fervent hope, ladies and gentlemen, that long after our journey on this earth is through, those generations that will come back after us will look back to this very day, and they shall say of us gathered in this building today, that in their new home in southeast Michigan, where the deers abound at dawn, and wide-eyed students bristle on campus with unrestrained enthusiasm, they heeded the call to action, they heeded the call to service, they heeded the call to philanthropy, they heeded the call to teaching, they heeded the call to research, they heeded the call to kindness, and they shall say of us, like Shakespeare before us, speaking through Mark Antony, whence cometh such another? Thank you. May he bless you. May he bless you.
Thank you, Jared. And now you see our excellent student and faculty. Basically, I truly believe this is a great building that's a product of a teamwork. Faculty, students, staff, and the administration, they came up with this great building, and it's all about the student. The design of it, they come here to study, they come here to interact, and I'm very proud of that fact. But the fact that all of this and all the growth is about teamwork, and I have to thank the upper administration and acknowledge that even though I've known President George Hind only 18 days, and right now the provost, a little over a year probably, Provost Lentini, but I really thank both of them for their steadfast support and continued support of engineering and computer science. And I would like to thank actually interim President Betty Youngblood, who I consider not only as she was my boss, but friend and a mentor. And she always very supportive of engineering and our objective. But also I would like to thank former President Gary Rossi for his many contributions to the success of our school, as well as his tireless effort to secure needed funding for this project. I know all of this, and I wouldn't be in here without the support of everybody, the provost, the president, and previous administration. So thank you for the support, and on behalf of my faculty and students, you will not be disappointed with this building. Now, as next, I have a special guest who will help us with the building plaque unveiling. And that special guest will be coming in right now. This is basically a special guest who won the Intelligent Ground Vehicle competition in June of this year. Competed with worldwide teams from Michigan, Caltech, and won first place. Oakland University Robotics Association won the first place in that competition. So this is basically the plaque where it lists the president and the board trustees at that time where they approved this building. So thank you all for your effort, and thank you for coming today. We're gonna have, please make sure to visit every floor of that building, because we have surprises, and you have a menu actually in front of you that tells you which floor you go to. And President Hand already told our secret. If you want dessert, you have to go to the fifth floor. Thank you and have a great day.